Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lindsay P, and today I'm just going to be doing a get ready with me, and we're just going to jump right into it because your girl is on a time crunch. So I'm getting ready for my cousin's wedding. Today, my older cousin Robinson is getting married, and we knew it was happening for a really long time. So I'm so excited for them. But it just has me thinking about my own wedding, the pressures to get married, and all of those things. Because I find this really sad. Like, y'all know when y'all see a couple and it's painfully clear that one person wants to get married and the other person doesn't. Like, it just, it's not a good look. Tay and I come from two totally different families. And if y'all don't know, I'm Haitian, so there was a lot of pressure to do things, you know. What is it? First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby in the baby carriage. It didn't work out that way for your girl. So once I found out I was pregnant with Genesis, everything was pretty much just like, so when are you guys getting married? When are you guys getting married? When are you guys getting married? And Tay, like, would always tell me that, like, he knew and he had plans for me, but there were just life things that he wanted to accomplish first. And because I had been so indoctrinated with this, like, you have to be married before you have a baby, and there's a particular order that you do things in. And not to say that I don't, like, value traditional thinking, but it just doesn't always happen that way for people. And I happen to be one of those people. And of course, me and my partner do intend to be married at some point. I mean, he did propose, we are engaged, but there was just so much pressure in the beginning, and it honestly, I think, even prolonged the engagement because Tay wasn't doing shit out of pressure. And I don't blame him. Like, he wasn't doing anything until he was ready to, but there was so much pressure on me that I then was putting that pressure on him. And I feel like in this season, I'm finally at a place where I'm like, we'll do things on our own time when we feel like it's right for us. In preparation for my cousin's wedding, I just wonder, like, have any of you guys experienced that? Like, are you getting pressured by family to get married? Did you get married because of family pressure? And, like, how has that affected you guys since? Because that shit is no joke. So moving forward, we ended up getting engaged, and then we weren't in a financial place to have this wedding. And even in terms of the wedding and the way we wanted to get married, like, no one in my family, well, Robinson's in my family, but prior to Robinson, I had never seen anyone in my family have a traditional white wedding. Like, most people just went to the courthouse. Like, the white wedding wasn't something that we did. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get these brows under control. I know y'all are like, girl, we are tired of looking at this case, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So after the engagement, naturally, I was just like, so that's what we're gonna do, because we don't have the money for all the pomp and circumstance. Plus, once the pomp and circumstance is over, all that matters is that we're married, right? And Tay was like, yeah, but I want to do the pomp and circumstance. So then there was a lot of discord about that, a lot of going back and forth about that, because fundamentally what it boils down to is we value different things. Like, his love language and my love language are totally different. And I felt like I didn't really need all of that. Like, I just wanted to be married because that's what I was told to do my whole life. But, like, in his family, people stay engaged for like 5 years, 6 years, and sometimes even longer before they get married, and it's not a problem. Like, it's normal. So there isn't this, like, huge rush. And I was just like, you're killing me, because on my side of the family, girl, time was money. I already popped out that baby, which I don't regret at all. I love my daughter, but they was ready to see your girl walk down the aisle. And to be honest, it almost cost me my relationship because we just could not get on the same footing in terms of this. And really what it was is me trying to live up to the expectations of my, well, what I thought were the expectations actually, because come to find out, it was everybody else but my parents that was concerned about me getting married. Like, my parents, come to find out, were like, on your own time. You guys have bigger fish to fry. So anyway, I just wonder if you guys have dealt with that. I'm just coating my eyes. Those brows took way longer than expected. And now we're just concealing the eyelids, and then we're gonna get to this base makeup, because whenever you're attending a wedding, the base makeup needs to be on fleek and it needs to be pretty much bulletproof. Okay, so for foundation, I'm gonna go with my Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Wear Foundation. Y'all, this stuff does not move, and you do not need a lot at all. I wore this foundation on my birthday. So good. And it's full coverage, so it's gonna cut down. I don't have to do any like pre-concealing or anything like that. I could just put it on and go. Which right now is 4:30. Ooh, you see that? Coverage. Another thing too, guys, it also be like I said, my family just indoctrinating me my whole life. You know, it's like you're Haitian or any Caribbean family, I feel like, for that matter, like they don't talk to you about anything until in relation to relationships, marriage, boyfriends, sex, anything, until you're getting ready to freaking graduate college. And then it's like, okay, where's your husband? It's like, what? Like, how do you expect me to go from 0 to 100? I don't get it. Even though my parents, like, they know about my boyfriends and stuff in high school, and we talked about them, but not in advance. It was very a reactive approach. But the pressure for marriage was just so freaking real. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Like, it really wasn't until Tay and I started planning our wedding, and we couldn't agree on anything in the beginning. And it was really causing a rift in our relationship. And really, I just was like, financially, it is just not good timing. I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks bronzer or contour. I got mine in the shade Deep, which you guys will see. This will probably be up after my Sephora haul, so y'all will see that. Wow, okay. We're just gonna do a little, because that is a lot. That's pigmented. But at that time, we wanted to like get it done, but we just couldn't come up with any financially sound way to do so that would lead to both of us being happy with the outcome. Because what you don't want is for one person to sacrifice, I guess, in the way that you all get married, because I feel like that's not like entering the union on good footing. You're already entering it divided. Like, I wanted, whichever way we decided to get married, for it to be a decision that both of us were excited about, both of us were happy about, and it just wasn't happening. Like, for me, I just told y'all, like, I would have been fine with a courthouse wedding, but my fiance didn't want that. He wouldn't have been fine with that. And for on the other footing, he would be happy with this super extravagant wedding, but I would not be happy with that if we are still in debt or don't have our financial footing under us. Like, I just can't do it. And so we couldn't find like a good happy medium either, because we tried all the things, we looked at all the options, and some way, somehow, like somebody was compromising a little more than they would like to. And it just got to the point where we were just like, we couldn't figure it out. So we called it off. We put it on hold. We're like, okay, this is clearly not good timing for us. You know, like we were just getting our footing back in Chicago. We just got our place, like just started working again, like getting settled. Weren't even completely settled yet, and trying to plan a wedding in the middle of a pandemic. If I'm being honest, I felt like it was what I needed to do because I had a child out of wedlock. But then you look at the people who are pressuring you to get married, and 9 times out of 10, like, you start working backwards from that oldest child, and you're like, wait a minute. This no sex before marriage you're preaching to me, did you do that? Like, but yeah, you start doing the math, and it's like, dude, you didn't even practice what you preach. And you're putting so much pressure on me and the next generation to uphold a standard that you couldn't even uphold yourself. And it really wasn't until that it was causing havoc in my relationship that I finally was just like, you know what? There's grace and there's God's timing. And we're gonna do it aligned with both of those things. I guess all this ranting to say, don't feel pressured to do anything prematurely, because 9 times out of 10, when you're trying to impress other people, you hurt yourself. Just do things when you feel like the time is right. And if you're happy with the way that you are living your life and the choices that you've made, live your life, sis. They've lived theirs. So now I'm just going in with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I love a lot of bronzer anyway, but because there's gonna be pictures and all that stuff, I'm really going ham with the bronzer. There are so many other things that you can focus on before getting married. Like being a good parent, a good friend, a good, I don't know, employee, focus on your career. That is true. My sister's here, guys, so if you hear someone, it's her. But yeah, learning to get your own shit together. Go to therapy before you get in, bring all that trauma into somebody else's life, kid's life. Get your finances together before you are co-mingling with somebody else. So many steps that should happen before marriage, and it's like no one prepares you for these things. No one prepares you for the level of like commitment it takes to be in that type of relationship. Like, it's not for the faint heart. It's a lot of work. And I'm not even there yet. We're just in the engagement stage. Granted, we have a child and by life standards, we are already married. Like, we do everything together. We just haven't signed the paperwork yet, which some people would say it's not wise, and I could understand why, but it's my life. I'm doing what I want. And I feel comfortable with this person. I know where it's going. So we do what works for us. If more people did that, mind their own house, this world will be a better place. Okay, for setting powder, I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier Honey shade and just lightly set underneath my eyes, just as a first layer of powder, because we are going to bake. To make sure not that this foundation needs a lot of help, but any reinforcement is good reinforcement. So just setting my face. Then for powder, I'm gonna keep it light because of how heavyweight the foundation is. I'm gonna take my Sephora Micro-Smooth powder and just set the rest of the face. Okay, that's looking good. Then to bake, I'm gonna go in with my, actually I'm not gonna go. I was gonna do my Derma blend, but I feel like weddings are a very special occasion and Huda is a really good powder, so I think I'm gonna do Huda instead. A really simple eye because we're running on time, and honestly that's it, just because we're running on time. So I'm gonna go in with my Aina palette, and I'm going to take the shade Ginger and just put that in my crease area. I'm gonna go in with edges right here and just work that into my, I guess, inner crease. Switching palettes now. I'm gonna go into the McGrath palette, and she has this like duochrome peach shade right here. I just sprayed my brush, and we're gonna go in with that shade. Sit on the back. I have no idea what this shade is. And then just for a little extra something, I'm gonna go in with Trust Issues from the Aina palette and put that on the inner corner. Is that doing anything? Not really. It's almost like they're the same shade. It's not really doing much. Now I'm taking credit, and I'm just gonna focus that in the outer V. That I am reading the Budgetnista's books, Get Good with Money. And y'all will have seen that reflected in how little for myself I purchased this Sephora haul, because I have to reel it in, guys. It was actually like a problem. The way that I feed into just makeup consumerism, which I knew, but I didn't realize how much I was addicted until I pretty much had like a mini breakdown about not spending a bazillion dollars at the Sephora sale this year. I mean, this sale, not this year. Because for as long as I can remember, which really, I've always been into beauty, but before my 21st birthday, it was more focused on hair. I was like really obsessed with hair. Like my sister and I, we used to do hair for our friends and stuff in high school, some teachers, and like people who worked in like the principal's office and stuff like that. So at that time, I thought hair was my passion. And then for my 21st birthday, that was the first time I ever got like my makeup done. And this girl on campus did it, and I was, for the rest of the day, I was just like in awe with my face. And boom, this Lindsay you all know today was born. I was like, I have to learn how to do this on my own. Like, I have to be able to recreate this, because I'm not going to spend, you know, money every time I want this done, every time I want to look like this, which is pretty much all the time. So that's what started my like rabbit hole and getting to learning how to do makeup, and like spending hours and hours on YouTube, and then practicing on myself with absolutely nowhere to go, like just to practice. And so that's what started my obsession with makeup. And then after that, I spent so much time at MAC, so much time at Sephora, just like dropping my little bags. Like, I was working and spending my whole check at Sephora. And that pretty much has been my story ever since. But you guys know, like, older, you get a little wiser, priorities change, and I'm at the point now where I have pretty much everything I could want or ask for out of my makeup collection. And this was the first Sephora sale where I really was like, you know, I could sit this one out. I could just not engage. For blush, I'm actually gonna also layer this Cover FX, this like plum color. This is in the color Sweet Mulberry. So yeah, so as you get older, priorities change, and this was the first sale where I was like, you know, Lindsay, you're pretty happy with your collection. Like, no new things are really grabbing your attention. You could sit this one out. And then I felt like, oh, but you really can't, because people are drawn to your channel now for makeup. Like, most of you guys have found me through my Sephora hauls, and we're also gonna put some blush up here and on the tip of my nose. And so I'm just like, you know, fear of, will they still love me if I like switch up my MO or talk about something different? Especially with me being such a small channel, like that's a real fear of people coming here for one thing and leaving because my priorities have now changed and I'm not spending $2,200 at the Sephora sale. Like, there just isn't that much new makeup in the world that I need to try at this point. Like, I literally have everything I love. I spent pretty much the end of last year going through my collection, getting rid of the stuff I don't like. And so now everything I have is all stuff that I am genuinely like excited to use. And so basically I'm content. But then also balancing like wanting to make content and wanting to engage and being part of the discussion, but not wanting to spend money every time something comes out. Like, I just don't want to do that anymore, but I still want to engage with you guys. And I think I'm just nervous because I don't quite know what that looks like. But yeah, this sale has caused me to re-look at some things, and I'm reading the Budgetnista's book now, Get Good with Money, and it has caused me to take a even deeper look at my finances and an even deeper look at what I should or want to be doing and where I want to be. And like, it's just not serving me to spend that much money on myself on the sale for stuff that's just going to sit here. Or not sit here, because I do use the stuff, but not often enough, you know? So just battling that, and like, I knew it was a problem when that, just like all of that combined. So my habits, a fear of missing out, all those things combined gave me like real anxiety. Okay, loves, I'm back. lashes are on, I'm just gonna dust away the powder and kind of reset my face with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. And then for liner, I'm gonna go in with my Nars liner in Spunked. This one right here. All right. And then for finishing off the gloss, I'm just gonna take my Juvia's Place X Vanessa collaboration Legit Nude and just pop that on. And this is pretty much the finished look, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out and chatting with me. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you babes in the next one. Smooches.